All right, let's talk about SSH keys. The name itself kind of sounds intimidating, doesn't it? Something that only a code or whatever have to deal with. But what if I told you the idea behind them is actually as simple and, frankly, as brilliant as a good old-fashioned lock and key? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
I mean, think about it. Our lives are run by passwords. We're typing them in all day long. But what about when computers need to talk to each other? Automatically, securely, often in the middle of the night. You can't have someone just sitting there typing in a password every single time. It's not just a hassle, it's a massive security risk. So how do they establish that trust without one?
The answer, and you're going to love this, doesn't actually involve a bunch of complex code or super technical jargon. For the next few minutes, we're just going to forget all that stuff. Instead, we're going to use a really simple, powerful analogy that makes the whole thing just click. We're going to talk about a door and a key. So let's get into it. First things first, we need to understand the lock. But this isn't just any old lock. I want you to picture a server like it's a secure room. Maybe it's holding really valuable, sensitive data. Now, on the door to this room, there's no keypad for a password. Nope. Instead, it has a very, very special kind of lock installed. This is our starting point.
And this special lock is what brings us to the absolute heart of the idea. It's all about a two-key system.
Okay, so here's the magic. It's really quite cool. You have two parts that work together. First, there's the public key. Just think of this as the keyhole itself. The part that's actually on the door for anyone to see. Then you've got the private key. Now that is the actual physical key, the one that you keep safely in your pocket. So this public key, our keyhole, is what you install on any server you want to access. And here's the crucial part. Because it is only the keyhole, it's completely safe to share. You can make 1 million copies of it and give them to everyone you know. There is zero risk because, well, a keyhole can't open a door. The private key, though, that's a completely different story. This is the secret you guard with your life. It's your personal, uniquely crafted key that is the only thing in the entire world designed to fit that special keyhole. So yeah, keeping this thing secret isn't just a good idea, it is everything.
Okay, so that's the theory. How do we actually put this into practice? Let's talk about setting up that door.
It's actually really straightforward. You take your public key, our keyhole, and you install it on the server you need to get into. You're basically telling the server, hey, this is the lock I use. Meanwhile, that precious private key, the physical key, it stays with you, stored securely on your own personal computer. So just remember, the keyhole goes on the destination, but the key always stays with you.
All right, everything's in place. Now for the really cool part, the moment of truth. Let's call it the secret handshake.
So how does this handshake work? Well, when you try to connect, the server sees your public keyhole and it issues a challenge. It's basically saying, okay, I see my special lock. Prove to me that you have the one key that fits. And here's the absolute genius of it. Your computer uses your private key to solve a little mathematical puzzle from the server, and it sends back the answer. Now, that answer proves you have the key without ever actually sending the key itself. The server checks the answer, sees it could only have come from the matching key, and boom, the door swings open. You're in, all without a password in sight.
This whole beautiful, elegant system hinges on one single golden rule. If you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, please let it be this.
I want you to really let this sink in. Showing someone your private key is the same as dropping your house key. Just think about that for a second. The moment it's out in the wild, your security is fundamentally broken. You just have to assume that someone you don't trust now has a perfect copy of your key and can let themselves in whenever they want. So it all boils down to two very simple rules. Rule number 1, your private key must be kept secret. Absolutely secret. Don't email it, don't message it, don't ever show it to anyone. Period. But rule number 2, your public key is meant to be shared. Go wild. Put it on every server you own, give copies to your friends. It's just the keyhole, remember? It's perfectly safe out in the open.
And that's really it. That's the big secret behind SSH keys. It's an elegant, incredibly robust system built on this simple idea of a public keyhole and a private key. Hopefully, it's a lot less mysterious now. So I'll leave you with this thought to chew on. Now that you know how this works, Where else in your digital life do you wish you could just ditch the password and use a digital key instead?